Hey now, welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message to assist you in the awakening process. And if you're watching this live, it's Sunday morning, at least here in upstate New York where I live. If you're watching this as a video, I don't know what time it is, but thank you for being here. And every Sunday we do tarot time. So we're going to do the tarot forecast for the week. So that's what's on the agenda. So I like to maybe wait a minute or two to let some of the live people get their notifications. So I'm going to just say a couple of quick hellos and we're going to dive right on in. By the way, if you're here with us live and you're new, I see, thank you. Honesty saves everyone. Always tell the truth. Yeah, good handle. I agree with that and welcome. And if anybody else is new, please say hi. And where in this big wide world are you from? So anyways, I'm a little bit partly cloudy this morning. I apologize for that. I've been had a really busy week. Took on some extra appointments just to meet demand. But by the way, if anybody's thinking about doing a reading with me before Halloween, contact us soon because October's almost booked out right now. So anyway, I took on some extra work. I'm starting to regret that decision this morning, but I'm here. I'm in a good mood. I haven't had my breakfast yet. It's gray out. It's okay. I know. But I'm still in a good mood and I did have an orange and some tea. So are we coffee, tea, or caffeine free? So hello and Australia, cool. We have a few other people from Australia and Jerry from South Africa. Wow. Welcome. And hi, Jody. Hi, Judy. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Judy again. And hi, anybody or everybody who I'm missing. And again, welcome. So, lots to talk about today. Very busy time. Mercury is officially direct, although it's going to take about 3 days before Mercury starts to move out of its current degree point. But 5:07 a.m. I've got a few notes here to I like to write a few things down. So that's a big shift. Pluto's going direct in a week on October the 8th. Now, Yom Kippur, I was born on Yom Kippur, the year that I was born, which that's the Day of Atonement. And that might explain a few things about my life. And actually, as time goes on, I'm going to start to share a few things that I've experienced. And just to give you a little teaser, I'm a true medical miracle. And the fact that I'm alive and talking to you right now, the odds of that are similar to winning the Mega Millions, maybe even less. And as I go on, I'll talk a little bit more about some of the things that I've had to atone for, being born on Yom Kippur. And the funny thing is, in 1958, when I was born, and my parents lived in Manhattan in New York City. So my mom had this idea, well, I'll catch a cab, go to the hospital when I go into labor. Only problem with that is in 1958, virtually, if not literally, every cabbie in New York City was Jewish. So that didn't work. That plan did not work out so well. But anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome. So what else is going on? We had a really big hurricane in Florida. I know a lot of viewers on the Medium channel are from Florida, so our prayers go out to you. And I'm happy that I've been able to help. And people were asking me, well before the storm, like what's going to happen. And at the time, the cone of uncertainty from the National Weather Service had the storm hitting anywhere from Tampa to I don't know, somewhere in the Panhandle, Tallahassee or wherever. But Spirit showed me Fort Myers, so I told people, Fort Myers, look out, Fort Myers area, look out. And then obviously that's where the storm hit. So Spirit does give us some accurate information to try to prepare us, not just for hurricanes, but also for the energetic storms that we're facing in today's world, and the storms from the governments and the corporations that are trying very, very hard to squelch the awakening, to squelch the knowledge, because knowledge is power. And if people are empowered, the systems are going to crumble in the world because they're unsustainable. They're not fair. They're not just. And they benefit a minute portion of the population, a tiny few, at the detriment of a great many. That's just not sustainable. Too many people are awakening. When major global shifts like that happens, there are problems, there are challenges. Systems shut down in order to be rebuilt. The tower falls. That's key 16 in the tarot, by the way, the tower card. And during our spiritual evolution or personal evolution, and this is the fool's journey from the tarot, there's always going to be a point that what you built up has to fall so you can rebuild on stronger foundation. As a collective, we're reaching that point right now. So we're in that tower energy. And in astrology, we're finding a lot of things lining up at 16 degrees. As a matter of fact, starting in November, every full moon from November through March is going to be 16 degrees of its prospective sign. Now, after 16 comes key 17. That's the star card in the tarot. That is about optimism. That's about hope. That's about spirituality. So what we need to do is, as a community, as well as individuals, we need to stay safe. We need to stay in the eye of the storm and be positive influencers to the collective consciousness while the systems fall down, because after the tower comes the star, that comes the rebirth, that comes the renewal. So it's really a beautiful and a great time to be alive, but it's a challenging time because everything is changing. So be true to yourself, stay in your heart frequency, do your heart brain coherence. We talk about that all the time here because it's such an amazing practice that it's virtually been a lifesaver for me. There's many ways to hold high frequencies in the heart. That's just one of many techniques that you can use. But check out my videos or check out Heart Math Institute or Greg Braden or Joe Dispenza and other teachers. They have a lot of information on how to do this. But if you hold those high frequencies in the heart, the brain becomes coherent. Then we become coherent with spirit. Then we draw and we connect more with our guides. We connect more with our superhuman abilities to heal ourselves and to help to heal others. And we're coming into our power slowly but surely, some more than others. So this is the time. And this must be what Spirit wants me to talk about, because most of the stuff's unplanned. In fact, I do card. I don't know what cards I'm going to pull. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do a meditation card now for the week. We're going to do a 3-card spread and see what Spirit is saying about this coming week, what's going on in the world, as well as maybe what's going on in our individual lives or as a community. And then I have other divination tools to use. We have angel cards, Native American cards, and stuff like that. So anyhow, let's do a meditation card now. And the way that I recommend to meditate with the tarot is to, like any other meditation, it starts with presence. When we're present, we're connecting to spirit. When we're not present, we're cut off. So the idea is that when we're thinking, we're not connecting. When we're connecting, we're not thinking, because we're so programmed and conditioned to be in our monkey minds virtually 24/7. Psychologists say we have 65,000 thoughts per day. Of those, 95% are subconscious, and most of the thoughts are rehashing past experiences. So we're not even conscious that every day we're bringing the past into the present, and then we wonder why our lives aren't changing, or why the same challenges or the same problems seem to come up again and again and again. Well, once you learn how to be present, you stop that vicious cycle, and then you can consciously choose the vibration of the present rather than thoughts invading from your past. And all thoughts carry an emotional charge, and it's the emotions, the energy emotion, that creates our reality. So when we're not present, we're basically we're constantly recreating the past in the present and then into the future. So when you become present and you become in the heart, then you can consciously choose your vibration and energy, and you can consciously or co-create your reality with spirit. That's the goal. That's part of the awakening, to understand we absolutely do have that kind of power. The law of attraction, when done properly, works, and it's not a new age phenomena. Ernest Holmes' book, The Science of Mind, was published, I believe, in 1926 or 1927. I don't think he was a new ager somehow. um, so these are universal law, and we're like I said, 65,000 thoughts, at least 95% of them subconscious. We want to be conscious. That's what awakening is. It's being conscious of energy, frequency, vibration, being conscious of ourselves, basically who we are, not who we're programmed to believe that we are. Like, I'm not a name. I'm not Adam. I'm not a medium. I'm spirit. I'm energy. I'm vibration. We're wave. We're not particle. Atoms are 99.999% empty space. Within that empty space is all energy, all waves. So, it's all an illusion. And once you start to really tune in and become present, then you pierce that illusion and you start to realize who you really are. And then that's when the magic begins in your life. And probably the reason that I am a bona fide medical miracle, more than once, I might add. Um, um, but it reminds me of the remark that my surgeon made after a major a major event happened. He just said, "God has a plan for you," and shook his head and went over everything that went on. So we all have, we're energy. We're not matter. We are all miracles, and we can all have these types of miracles in our lives as well. This doesn't me saying this doesn't make me special. It makes me more aware than the average person, and that's all. That's it. So anyway, on that note, I'm a Rod Stewart. I'm missing your. I always miss your comments. I like Rod Stewart too. I always think of his song "Pretty Flamingo." It always reminds me of Florida, being that and then the fact that Florida is going to be recovering from this latest storm for a good while. Again, prayers to all the people in that and all the other things and events that are going on in the world at this time. So we have Scotland, we have South Africa today, we have Australia, maybe twice Australia. Listen to that video, Are You a Starseed? I'm hoping to have a lady come on the channel and talk about starseeds. If that becomes a reality, I'll definitely let you know. And somebody that's really really understands that phenomena. But we're all starseeds to some degree or another, right? Because it's although there's no proof of this, but it seems pretty sure to me that when modern human just kind of showed up in the world 200,000 years ago with genetic linkings that are still can't be traced, it's very probable that that's when the seeding process from the extraterrestrial people with the earth. So we've been that's another thing. I even wrote that down in my notes that I've been talking about around August, September. This was in my yearly forecast from last December about UFO activity increasing, and really, those months it really has, and I think that's going to continue. Now, just be aware of the possibility, and again, this is all in the realm of possibility, but be aware that there may be some fictitious or exaggerated thing in the media about some alien threats or some green men and flying saucers, like War of the Worlds, like coming in, and yes, we must listen to the centralized governments in order to stay safe, or whatever the heck else that they're going to try to pull at this point. But it's interesting. So we all have connections, other other dimensions also, but other star systems, other intelligences, might be a way of putting that. All right. So this is the meditation card that we got today. And I like this. It's the world card, key 21. I just started, if you were here in the beginning when I was, revealed the fact that I was born on Yom Kippur, you probably can ascertain that I'm a Libra, and I just had my birthday a week ago, actually. And there's a reason that I brought that up. Oh, yes. And I started in numerology my 21 year. 21 reduces to 3. The world card is key 21 in the tarot. So that's why I brought that up. So the idea when you do meditation with tarot, what I recommend, just close your eyes, get relaxed, get present, then step into the card. This is like a magic doorway. When you step in, there's a whole scene behind and around, a whole panoramic view. So be in the energy. The first thing when you step into the card, how do you feel? That's anytime. I recommend this when people are buying houses, by the way, that don't forget about how much the house costs, forget about the neighborhood, forget about whether it's a cape or a ranch or a mansion, forget all that stuff. Get present instead. Walk in the house. And when you step in, do you feel better when you walk in that house, or do you feel worse? What do you feel? And trust that if it doesn't feel right, go to the next house. So basically, same thing. When you step into the world card, feel the vibe, feel the energy. You feel your emotion when you step in, and maybe what do you feel physically? Maybe do I feel warm or cool? What do I smell? What do I taste? What do I hear? What sounds come in? And you may find beings, you may get messages, but that's how to meditate with tarot. And we get a lot for our meditation card. I have a habit of pulling a lot of the major arcanas for that. Although the last couple of weeks, it's usually 9 out of 10 weeks. It's major arcana or court card, and when it's the court cards for the meditation, that may be you meeting your spirit guide also. So next thing I want to do a 3 card. Oh, we have somebody from Scotland. Welcome, Stephen or Stefan, depending on how you pronounce that. Welcome. And somebody else is in Scotland too, right? Is that Suzette? Are you the one? No, or you're in Australia now, or okay, I don't know. I don't know. It's Sunday morning after a really hectic and busy work week, so it's cloudy outside. I'm partly cloudy inside right now. But I get up early. I do my breathing. I do my meditation. I didn't do my yoga this morning. That I did not have time for. All right. So I need to clear my mind. Again, when we're thinking, we're not connecting. When we're connecting, we're not thinking. That's the motto of the medium channel. That and feel it till you deal it. So that's more my law of attraction work. What we feel is an energy and a vibration, and that starts to affect the quantum reality, which in time affects macro reality also. Anyway, clearing mind. We want to connect. We don't want to think now. Connect. Okay, good. Better. It's funny. Oh, I today it's 4 cards, not 3. Yeah, 2 came out at once. When 2 come out at once, I kind of read that almost like one card. And that'll be the first 2. So anyway, hold on 1 second. My hands have a habit of being extremely dry in the mornings too. So forgive me for licking my fingers. Just reminding me of a Jethro Tull song, something about like when I lick 2 fingers clean before I shake your hand, or some weird lyric like that. But that's Ian Anderson. Well, you got to expect that. So anyway, the 9 of Pentacles and the Moon card are the 2 that came out together. Then that's the Knight of Swords, and the last one is the 7 of Cups reversed. So this is what it looks like on the big screen, on the big clipboard here. Anytime you get the moon card, think like emotions, think reflectivity, 'cause that's what the moon does. It's really connected to the energies of the astrological sign Pisces, and Neptune's in Pisces. I say, what's in Pisces now that's very prominent? Neptune, the ruling planet, and it's been in Pisces for a while, and it will be for a while longer. But it's linked up with the Nine of Pentacles, and nines complete cycles. Nines are often about comfort and stuff like that. I think again, it's saying, think about, what you might do this winter. Should the lights go out for a while, or should the food supplies cut off? What are you going to do to remain comfortable? But also, this is very reflective energy. We're in that fall season here in the northern hemisphere of the Americas. A lot of the native traditions honored the bear, the totem of the bear in the autumn, because bear is about introspection and looking within, and it's the totem animal of the West in the season autumn. So, we get ready to go into our hibernations and digest the lessons of the past year. And then when we come out in the spring, it's a rebirth. So this is, we're in the dark season now. We just started on the equinox. Of course, those of you in Australia, it's the reverse. You're starting your spring season, so you're coming out of the hibernation, so to speak, and coming into the light again. And this could be also a statement on the very volatile financial markets that are happening. And I think that this Knight of Swords is kind of giving me the feeling of some news or something maybe about insider trading, or something that comes up with the like Senate or Congress about their trading habits or whatever, that I believe are highly illegal. But that's just a belief. I don't have the proof to to validate that at this time. Um, and But this also about comfort, and I have a feeling that there might be an October storm also, but different than the hurricane. Maybe more of like a big nor'easter, or a big, like, jet stream dip in the um, northern plains to the northeast, I want to say. So I haven't said this for a few years, but I'm seeing at least the possibility of snow in my neck of the woods in October. And can't remember. I think it was about 5 years ago the last time we had an October snow here. So we're due. About once every 5 years is about the average up here for at least measurable October snow. I'm not just talking about flurries. Um, this to me feels like a lot going on with politics. Well, duh, the election. Okay. Hello. The elections are coming up in November during a solar eclipse, no less. With a lot of choice astrological things happening around that time. Mars is stationed on election day and starting its retrograde. That begins October the 30th. Um, so yeah, you can expect. So, I want to say this had almost like a violent feeling to me. So be aware of the fact that there could be riots in your neighborhood. Again, prepare prepared. We're not doom and gloom. We're about empowerment. But part of being empowered it is being able to anticipate, or being able to be, when we're present, we can feel the energy, and that's when our psychic abilities can kick in also. So, some people may experience that, demonstrations turning ugly, that's happening a lot more than what the news lets us know. Um, because they don't want people to know how much people are pushing back, and how much people are challenging the status quo right now. I'm sorry, let me bring this closer so you guys can see the cards as well. Sometimes you might get your own impression. You can make this a little bit of your own kind of personal exercise, if you will. What do you feel from these cards also about your life and everything? I'd say to steer clear of aggressive people this week. People that are going to try to you know, change your thinking, or rule your life. This again, this to me, the feeling that I get is very emotional. It's very kind of almost combative. And suppressive. That's the word I'm looking for. Feels very suppressing to me, the energy, and stuff like that. I don't know how many of you guys got to see um, my psychic forecast for October. But I'm thinking of Donald Trump. He's obviously going to be in the news a lot for a while. And it was a kind of a funny thing, as I was doing my channeling and my automatic writing. One of the things they said was Donald Trump having a romance. I'm thinking like that would be interesting, but isn't he married? And then on my news feed this morning, yeah, I look at the headlines just so that I know what they're saying. I don't recommend mainstream news, and when you go to alternative news, you've got to be discerning because some of them are set up to mislead you. Also, they talked about like romantic letters to what was it, the prime minister, the head of South Korea, or is it North Korea? I should have wrote this down, but they use those words about a romance, between him and one of the world leaders. I said, is that what they were talking about? It's okay. And anyway, I just had to interject, but yeah, that may be going on a lot. So let me see what else. She was saying she never watches the news anymore. I see the cards. Great. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So anyway, what else? I need to just kind of take this in for a second. That moon card, again, Nine of Pentacles and the moon card. Interesting, combination. Uh, so, it's kind of like in a way, making me feel like, to maybe do more or to step up the like either meditation practice. The other thing is, as I'm talking, I feel like I think I finally got the message of this combination card about doing something to change your immediate environment to fit your energy, to fit your awakening, or to fit your growth. Like, in other words, maybe this week, change your furniture in your living room around, or put new pictures up, things that are uplifting, that are really kind of almost subliminally, giving you more like hope, more optimism, more success in your life. And because the Nine of Pentacles is a good financial money card also, you think that may be more conducive to attracting more money. Money's freedom in this society. It's not the root of all evil. Maybe greed is. I could argue that end, but not money itself. Money is just energy, and it's our vehicle to freedom in your life. So maybe they're also saying whatever subconscious negative programming around money, this is the time to really dive in and dig deep with that. Now, Yom Kippur begins October the 4th, and it's the 11th day of the moon. I mean, technically, that's the fifth is the 11th day of the moon. And anybody that studied Kundalini yoga has heard about that, because what happens is there's a glandular reset that happens. The moon's water. When the moon is full or new, it has a gravitational pull and it affects the tides. So, um, so when the 11th day of the moon comes, we're resetting. We're adjusting to the higher energies of the coming full moon. So the idea is to do like some stretching, yoga, drink a lot of water, eat light, eat a lot of green foods. And it's happening on Yom Kippur when we atone, basically. So again, it's a very kind of like a fall hibernating feeling. It's like, and when we say atone, atoning is a spiritual process. It's not like blaming yourself. Like, it's not like self-blame. Like, I'm a horrible person. I did this, 3 years ago to this person or whatever. No, it's about like I'm human. I make mistakes. It's almost like that kind of atoning. At least that's my take on it. And it's kind of like, all right, do some ho'oponopono prayers, and that is a really positive thing to do. It just acknowledges, hey, I do that all the time, and when I do it, it's like I'm doing that to myself. Like I'm ho'oponoponoing my higher self, for my human weaknesses and frailties and stuff like that. So that's how I do it. And they always forgive us, especially if we're willing to look into things with not, again, not self-diminishment or self-blame or self-criticism, but more from the perspective like, how can I be a better human being? How can I be better um, servant of spirit, or better light bringer, or way shower, or whatever you want to put that? And again, just opening the heart. When you open the heart and expanding in compassion and love, that diffuses all the negativity. While you are actively in the heart frequency, and I'll emphasize the word actively, and in that moment you can't have negative thoughts, you can't hate, you can't hold grudges, you can't blame other people. Of course, how many people are 24/7 in the heart frequency? But that's the truth of it, and that's why it's the master frequency, because when we are in our heart and when we're feeling gratitude, and compassion, basically we're matching the vibration of the universe, which is the ultimate giver and the ultimate source of compassion. So when we feel grateful, we're matching the frequency of that which gave us that to be grateful for. And that is the underlying secret of the law of attraction that people talk about, but they don't really tell you how to do it. It's like, you be grateful. It's like, all right, what if I don't feel like being grateful? What do I do then? Do I fake it or whatever? No, you learn how to meditate with the heart and open those natural frequencies of gratitude, appreciation, and love, and that's how you do it. So anyway, that's what that's telling me. I'm looking at the Knight of Swords. It's kind of like, and I'm thinking of the skit on the old Saturday Night Live, back in the John Belushi days, with the thing that wouldn't leave. I don't know if anybody remembers that skit, but it's about like the worst possible house guest you could imagine that won't leave, basically, and it's almost like that feeling, like the what was it? God, like I warned you, I'm partly cloudy this morning. The thing that wouldn't leave. So be aware of people that are aggressive, that are trying to roll over you, that are trying to change your thinking. This is why it's good every day to go into your heart, to go into that eye of the storm, to go in that center of compassion, to be grounded, to be connected to the earth, go out into nature. That way, you can stay strong in your frame, and all that's going on out there is going to have less effect on you. And you're not going to be easily programmed by other people's thinking or their desires for you. But there may be some rules or stuff like that. And this is Seven of Cups reverse. I mean, let go of what you don't need anymore. Certainly, this is just like a lot of confusion. Seven is Neptune energy. Neptune's in Pisces. I don't have everything written down, but I know Neptune's opposing. Is it Mars or squaring? I mean, Neptune is very active, and Neptune brings delusions and illusions to the surface, as well as it's very intuitive energy. So this is like a lot of like this letting go energy, um, and really emotional cleansing and clearing. I think that's what they're trying to show me. Yeah, and the element of water is also um energetically about the emotion. So maybe even do like some salt baths this week, and just allow the water to absorb like other people's energy or any negative emotions or stuff like that, or do water meditation where you visualize blue water, like blue waterfall, washing over you and around you and through you, and taking other people's energies, other people's emotions, or any negative emotions or feelings out of you. When I say negative, I'm meaning those emotions that take you farther from spirit rather than closer to spirit. In reality, they're just emotions. They're neither positive or negative. But but what I'm calling negative emotions are really more those survival based emotions, like fear, anger, jealousy, and those kind of things. So anyways, let's move on to doing a Native American card. um all right, So, all right, so I'm just mixing the cards of a second, so we can take a break. I'm seeing angels in my mind. I like that. I'm seeing the image of a scarecrow actually in my mind, which is interesting. I wonder if crows are of the autumn also. Crows represent law, karmic law, and stuff like that. Crows can represent law. Um, I'm missing so much of your conversation. It's like seeing. I'm amazed with Natasha's journey and teaching. Like, who's Natasha? I want to be amazed by her journey and teaching too. All right, this is the card. So we got the Warrior of Blades. So maybe I often talk about spiritual warriorship. So maybe I'm supposed to talk about that again. We need to be warriors in this world. There's too many forces. If you're a spiritual teacher, I'll tell you, I've been on YouTube 2 years now, and a little over 2 years, and you not to go into details, you guys have no idea, but there's been a lot of what I call psychic attacks, black magic, your spirit invocation, stuff like that. And as a warrior, I've studied martial arts, I've studied the craft, and I had my awakening in the late 70s, and come around 1980, I just got the message, what my mission is, so to speak, which is I'm living it now. And one of the things that they were saying is that whatever whatever level the battle's taken, that I've got to be able to overcome that and be victorious, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. So I think we have to understand that we want to talk about love and light and all that stuff, and warriorship really is you know protecting your right to be in love and light, basically, in a world that's filled with hate. It's not what I'm gonna say, it's not people's fault. I mean, people are intrinsically good and positive. It's just the programming, it's just the way things are set up. And the fact that so much power is imposed on us, and there's so much oppression and suppression and everything, that people that are still in the program, that are still in the matrix, which is most people, even spiritual people that think they're above that, they're really not. Just as a heads up there, be trust your heart, trust your feelings. Not all spiritual teachers are right in the head. Some are amazing, so we're not you're trying to put anybody down or be competitive or anything like that. Just to be aware, that anybody that's not hasn't cleared the programming means that energy, that darker or negative energy, can access them and can hurt you, basically. So the idea is we want to be spiritual warriors, and it starts with finding that place of peace in the heart, finding that place of ultimate peace, and so forth. So what else is this card telling me? Well, looks like the horse is in a full gallop. I need my glasses. 64-year-old eyes. I need my glasses. What else is here? What's this doing? This is a. Oh, okay. So the warrior is on the. Okay, the warrior is actually on the side of the horse here, holding on to the horse. Now, horses represent power, freedom. Let me see what else. And it looks like the wind. The trees look bent, so it's windy. Air is air is the mind. It's windy, so there's clouds. So it's like a storm that's brewing, basically. And he's on the side of the horse, which I find interesting. On the left side of the horse, left side could represent more the feminine power as well. But it looks like he's trying to get back on his horse. So the thing is, you that expression, getting back on your horse, courage isn't about losing your fears. It's about facing your fears. It's acknowledging your fears. It's being honest about fears. Otherwise, you'll never overcome them. That's what getting back on your horse is. If you've had a trauma and a setback, you acknowledge that it's a real thing. You don't try to suppress it or pretend it's not real. That's actually the opposite. That's being not courageous. So courage is acknowledging that and facing that. So I think that's really the idea. Is I think a lot of people have just been, knocked down so much. There's been, pandemic. There's been, political strife. There's been, an uptake in natural disasters like Hurricane Ian. It's an example of that. There's been, wars and stuff like that. There's been misinformation. A lot of people are just like, like knocked down. And, I think the grand plan is to bring everybody to their knees so they can centralize everything, government and power. We're seeing that. And that's been the grand plan for a very long time. I started this whole like conspiracy theory journey back in the early 80s. So we called it the grand plan, and now there's different names that they give it. But in any event, and it's part of, it's part of our awakening. So what happens on the outside is a reflection on the inside. What happens on the outside in society is a reflection of what's on the inside of collective consciousness. And we chose this for our spiritual growth. So if you can kind of take that, like, this is bad, this is evil, this is negative, out of the equation, and just be in your presence, say this is just what is, you're going to have a much easier time like navigating and overcoming it, basically. And that's part of the art of the warrior also. Always be in honor, be in integrity, be in your power, be in your truth. So that's what I get for that. So let's do I have my medicine cards again today, so let's do that. This is our next little fun divination tool. Incidentally, Tuesday at 7, I'm going to do my full moon live stream that I always do a few days before the full moon. It's coming up. This one's in 27 degrees of Aries, right? Yeah. 27 degrees of Aries. Then starting November, that or 17. Right? Oh my goodness. I think I'm confusing things. 17 degrees. If I'm inaccurate about that, then we start the whole like parade of 16 degrees full moons after that. So that's interesting. Like I said, 17 is filled with positivity. So it's going to be Tuesday at 7. That'll be that live stream. So we got the raccoon. We've gotten raccoon a few times. So raccoon medicine is obviously very significant right now. What do raccoons do? They're good planners, right? I should know the meaning in my head because we pulled this card before. I always think of them as the bandits and the thieves, but that's not really the meaning of the card. This is one of the add-ons. Like, it used to be 44, and then they add on generous protector. That's right. According to David Carson and Jamie Sands, that's what raccoon represents. Now, it's interesting because these medicine cards, they here, let me show you this also. Used to be 44 cards, and that in the some of the plains nations of the Native American, there were 44 medicine shields. So really aligned the numerology. Then they added a few others. So here we have raccoon, and raccoon's the generous protector. So maybe it's just spiritually saying no, that God, Spirit, Archangel Michael, Jesus, the Buddha, whoever or whatever you see as a protective energy, call on that, surround yourself. The thing is, protection can be a little bit of a, in terms of like word meanings, a little bit of a double-edged sword, because you don't want to go into like a fear-based things like I need something outside of myself to protect me. Again, that's part of being a warrior. As a warrior, we take responsibility for everything that's right or wrong in our world. So if somebody that promised me the world, like a day later, dump me for some other guy or whatever, I'm not blaming this her. I'm looking within. It's like, what did I do to create this situation that this is happening? And I think that's the way we need to think. It's like people go through a lot of misery. I've had, a lot of situations, unjustly fired from jobs, money stolen, this, that, and the other thing. And I could be like, hate the other person, but instead I forgive that person. And I look within, it's like, what in my energy created this event in my life? And that's how I learn. That's how I don't repeat the same cycles. And people often comment, "Gosh, Adam, why are you so happy? What's your secret?" It's like, I don't hold on to these things. I don't blame others. I look within, and I try to grow and develop every day. So I don't know if that's the meaning of raccoon, but that's the meaning that popped out of my mind. But raccoon carries the medicine of the protector, of the underdog. And certainly, what's the expression of Jesus? The meek shall inherit the earth. Meek does not mean weak. But that's being the underdog. I've always rooted for the underdog myself. So raccoon carries the medicine of the protector, the underdog, and provider for the young, infirm, and elderly, often called little bandit by some other tribes. This Robin Hood of the animal kingdom teaches us generosity and caring for others. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole freaking thing, but anyway, you guys get the idea. So I wanted to have a couple different angel decks with me today. Pull a card from each one. Let me it's easy if I do it on the floor, so I apologize if you're seeing my bald head. All right, so 1 and 2. Okay, so this is what we the 2 cards that I got here. So these are both different Doreen Virtue decks. One's the one on my left. This one is a messages from the angels, and this one is angel therapy card. And we got Archangel Gabriel. Did we get Gabriel last week too, or is that in one of the live streams? But you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. And of course, also Archangel Gabriel's the awakener. In some depictions, he has the horn, like in the Judgment card, key 20 of the tarot. That's Archangel Gabriel. And Gabriel blows the horn, and the children are waking up. So he's also about awakening as well. And then this one, goodness. Oh, cool. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. And I feel like this is apropos, because I do feel like there's more focus on the divine feminine as of late. For whatever reason, it's just probably just energetic trends that are going on or whatever. But our divine feminines, our softer, more intuitive side, and our more receptive side, basically. And there's a lot of power in that. It's not everybody agrees, but I draw the analogy of the divine feminine being the void. That's like the cosmic womb, basically. And then the divine masculine is that spark, that big bang, that out of that void created life, basically. So we're both divine masculine and divine feminine. So we want to cultivate both of those, really. But according to the angels, right now it's more of a leaning towards the divine feminine. Maybe because it's the darker season, coming up to Samhain or Halloween, season of the witch, as it were. And so that's basically what I get today. And so I think that's the idea, to meditate, to go more into the heart. I always say to go out into nature. The news or people trying to control us and manipulate us, tears down our energy fields. Technology, the EMFs affect our auric fields, our energy fields, but nature restores all of that for you. And if you can't get out into nature, visualize nature, bring the frequency of nature to you. Because even if you're like in a New York City apartment, you're still in nature. You know, you're just surrounded by a building. That's the only difference. So anyhow, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your comments, even though I missed most of them. And thank you for being here. I love you, and we'll see you next time. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and we'll catch up with you Tuesday. What else? Somebody remind me what video we released on Thursday. I warned you that I'm not right in the head this morning. Anyway, it was a good one. Whatever the last video that we released, it was a good one. This is crazy. I think it has something to do with with psychic self-defense. Yes, okay, it's coming back to me. And very apropos for what the message today with the spiritual warriorship. I knew there's a reason I wanted to bring that up. So the video is about how to clear cords, etheric cording. When somebody wants to manipulate you, what's happening energetically is they're sending a cord from their energy field into yours. And when you're corded, it feels uncomfortable. You can feel anxious. The worst case scenario, sometimes people get sick from this, or bad things happen, but they're not hard to clear. So I teach you how to clear that. I'll pin, when this becomes a video, that'll be in the pinned comments, as well as the October psychic forecast, as well as Sharita Starr, our astrologer numerologist, as well as her autumn forecast based on numerology and astrology. So that'll all be on the pinned comment when this becomes a video. Okay. Thank you again. Take care, everybody. I love you.